on this occasion, Riley Rousseau getting all of that.
Just cramped up, they'll push, it's into the gap, some work to do. Oh, I can't get there, Tuscan, that's 4. So boundary starting to flow nicely in South Africa.
And that's what I'm talking about. He can rush you a little bit of a moral victory here for the bowler. He seemed to tuck Riley up a little bit, also not as much bounce. He managed to get the ball in the gap, and Tuscan, just having bowled his last over, had to run around and do some work, and unfortunately for him, big effort though. Never easy to bowl 2 overs and then get down on the ground and get dirty, but unfortunately he's missed that. South Africa get another boundary.
And sweeper there, so should cut that off for the single. So powerful, been so consistent, Riley Rousseau. One of only 2 batters since the last T20 World Cup to average 50 or more and go at a strike rate of 150 or more. That man on the screen, and another man in the South African lineup, David Miller, another southpaw who can get it done consistently. So that's the venom that this South African batting lineup has. So just back to that point, Dale, as a bowler, do you have the ability, a fast bowler charging in, to observe that or make any adjustment at all so late in what would be a delivery stride with Quinton de Kock's doing that?
I mean, it's really difficult because you have set your field before you're starting to run in, and now you're trying to pay attention as to what Quinny's going to do. Most often in the early stages you'll have your fine leg up, and that's why he's looking to utilise that. He's looking to open up that space down at fine leg, so it is a difficult one. That's it. Oh, good shy there. Let's take a bit of shine off the ball. But it is a difficult one because fine leg will be in, and Quinny does play the shot so well, regardless of the length. If it's full, you'll kind of just play it. If it's shorter, he kind of ramps it. It's still a difficult shot to play, but for Quinny it comes quite naturally. I think inside the first 6 overs, it's one of his go-to shots, similar to a Butler in the way A.B. de Villiers used to ramp bowlers.
Cramped up a little bit low. And they closed it out nicely. Hassan after 4 overs and 32 off the last 2 overs. South Africa 42 for 1.
Viewer scan করে 1000 টাকা পেমেন্টে 100 টাকার কুপন।
গোলাপি চাষ আর ভিটামিন ই সহ নতুন লাক্স দেয় চাঁদের মতো উজ্জ্বল চেহারা। লাক্স
চিপস ব্রস বাছাই করা আলুর সাথে স্পাইসি সিজনিং এর টুইস্টে এলো ব্রাউন পাপাটা। এটা চিপস নাকি বিস্কিট? কে বুঝে নাও।
Famous Soul Ground, and that's the new component there. Famous names atop of the stand. Bradman, M.A. Noble. Pace off now. Considered taking a run there. So you can see immediately he's thinking down, straight down the ground here. So again going with the off spin, taking the ball away from the left-hander, Shakib Al Hassan. Catch it to Corbett, too powerful. Wonderful strike, the deep mid-wicket, thought he was in the game there, started to charge in but could only turn and watch it sail over the rope.
Riley Rousseau playing a lovely little sweep shot here. Power sweep, to be honest with you. The fielder on the boundary thought he was in with a chance, kind of ran in as Kelly said. And this one just had the legs, basically. It just carried on going.
Oh, catch at the call again. It's going to fall safe. Mid-on is up. Mid-off gets across to pick up, and they'll have to settle for 2. So real aggression here from Riley Rousseau. 50 up in South Africa after a little stumble early in that opening over. Partnership up to 48 of just 23 deliveries. I just get the feeling that he's not going to slow down here, Riley Rousseau. He wants to cash in with these field restrictions. Another, the frustrations of the players there, another technical assistant walking right in front of the sight screen behind the bowler's arm. probably a good decision. Putting the cock there.
It always amazes me with the batters. They can hit the ball out of the ground and then they block it straight to a fielder and decide to take off for a run. And get run up. They normally leave that for us bowlers.
That's beautifully again, so it's 2 in the over for Riley Rousseau. Sweet timing, controlled, wonderful decision making when he's going to the boundary. Maybe not so in his calling style.
Yeah, we saw one earlier. That was a good shot, but this one was even better. And unfortunately, the fielder in the crowd there just dropped that catch. And Riley picks himself up another boundary. I think that's hit the arm. That's 50 partnership now between these two. Quick succession. Riley getting down on that one knee and getting all of that. Sweet timing. Oh, on the forearm. That's going to hurt. Good effort, young man.
Dance there, and that's into a vacant area too. Some leg work for Dupong off to get around. It'll just be 2. 16 from the 5th over, and South Africa are flying along beautifully now. 58 for 1.
অত্যাধুনিক ইভাপোরেশন পদ্ধতিতে পরিশোধিত মোল্লা সুপার সল্ট সঠিক মাত্রায় আয়োডিন সমৃদ্ধ।
The wicket pretty early, first over. Kemba Bavuma was on his way, but the 2 left-handers have come good, and the striking has been impressive. Rousseau 34 off 16, the Cock 20 off 10. And it's a well judged single. The field is very leg side dominated for Bangladesh. Mr. Vazur into the attack, his first delivery, so I think they'll turn to him and ask him to try and change up as much as possible. Use your variations. It looks like it's a bit of a belter of a surface. Anything that's got pace on has been easy to be put away. And then you can see the partnership. 57 of 27. That's it. Ali Khan's join me. What's your thoughts?
With the kind of start that they have now, it is important that they go big from here. It's a really good partnership, and as I said earlier, surface, magnificent for batting. Yeah, Quinton de Kock better for his 47 that he got quickly in Hobart. Nearly chops it on. Thinks about getting back to make sure it doesn't go into the stumps, and then still trying to consider whether he could have got through for a single. But this is good from Mr. Vazur. Under pressure, never easy to come in and bowl that last over of the power play, just the 2 fielders allowed. And unfortunately, we've actually got some rain that's made its way in. Just watch the umpires getting together, had a look up into the distance, and you can see it is starting to come down a little bit harder. Initially a little bit of drizzle. The ground staff have got their work cut out for them. I don't know what it is about South Africa, but the rain is following them around. The ground staff in Australia are very good at getting the hessian on as quickly as possible to absorb any initial water that lands on the surface, trying to get that moisture off, and then they work the covers on. So South Africa, I think, will be disappointed at this rain break because they've found some momentum and got themselves to 60 for 1. I think Bangladesh, I feel, might not be that unhappy. It's a chance for them to regroup, have a little short chat about possible options going forward. And the good news is that as we look in the distance, we can see that there's brighter skies, not those dark black clouds. They've sort of worked their way past the ground, so hopefully this won't be around for very long.
Yeah, I hope it stays away because it's just getting a little bit darker here. Well, he spoke about the surface house. The surface is magnificent for batting. Beautiful partnership. Really quick one, quick lead of just 29. Things were looking very good for South Africa. The wind in the spoiler.